Well, I worked an AM shift, so I was home to watch main event, unfortunately. Hey, you know, it's on TV, and I'll feel guilty, you know, if it's on, I'm not watching. That's just, you know, the kind of person I am. At least I don't do reviews on superstars. I mean, it's very hard. You know, back in the day, there never used to be anything like a C show. It didn't exist. You know, there was B shows, which was Sunday Night Heat and Metal, but you would never have a C show because it was like Metal and Heat were, you know, the B shows. They were pretty equal. And SmackDown and Raw were both the A shows. Raw was not bigger than SmackDown during the Attitude Era. It simply wasn't. You know, you had just as many people watching Raw as they did SmackDown. And remember, actually, SmackDown was the show that beat Sunday, must-see TV. So it wasn't Raw that accomplished that historic feat. It was SmackDown. All right. So, you know, it didn't take long for main event to become a fucking minor show. It started off as a major show, you know, and you're just not going to do that with a channel like Ion TV. That's not a channel that you could, like, put wrestling on and make it big. You know, and plus, you know, everybody knows that it's not going to be as important. Whenever there's a third show, you know, 3 is a crowd. It's never going to last, you know, just like with ECW. Barely anybody watched ECW. Whenever there's a third show, no one's going to give a fuck. Alright, so the show starts off with Orton and Cesaro, and you could already see that this show is, you know, not being taken seriously. Because they've already abandoned that, you know, that sports style introduction, you know, with the announcers in the ring and the big video packages building up to the match. You know, probably because there was no major build up towards this match, but usually they show you those cheap video packages. They didn't even bother with this. Alright, so honestly, this was not a terrible match, really. It was better than any of the shit on Raw. You know, because at least I wasn't fucking pissed off, you know, at the, you might say, you know, how about the cage match? Cage match wasn't bad. Well, I was fucking pissed off about the John Cena shit, so I don't even want to think about this match. So let's just call this match of the week for WWE. And it's, you know, it's pretty pathetic because the match still sucked. You got the announcers marking out over a fucking double axe handle. Double axe handle. That move was, in the 80s, was considered, you know, amazing. Here we are in 2013, 30 years later, and the announcers are still marking out over the same fucking move. Isn't that pathetic? Isn't that fucking moronic? Now, granted, Cesaro did get more height on that axe handle than most people do, but it's just a fucking double axe handle. Get the fuck over it. You know, like I said, it wasn't, you know, a good match. It wasn't even, you know, but it was acceptable, I guess. It ends with the interference on the Shield. The Miz jumps up off of commentary, and, you know, they both get attacked and everything. You know, it's like, I don't even really understand the concept of the Shield. The Shield is, are they technically employed with the company? I don't think so. Because, you know, why are they coming out of the crowd? Probably not. And if not, why is, like, security not chasing after them? You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, back in the day, if someone didn't belong there, you'd have security, like, going after them when there was some sort of invasion angle. It really doesn't feel like an invasion angle. It feels more like guys just coming out of the crowd for no apparent reason at all. Like it's an entrance, like it's DDP or Old School Edge, you know, some shit like that. So I really don't see the point of, you know, them coming out of the crowd, unless this is an invasion angle, but that really hasn't been really brought to light. They don't talk about it, but, you know, this was just really cheap. It's, you know, it's a finish they've used 10 fucking times before. So yeah, so really nothing special here. Once again, it's main event, guys. Then something, you know, interesting happens, I guess, you know, by today's standards, this is interesting or, you know, provocative television or some shit like that. Fucking Brad Maddox comes out of the crowd out of nowhere to commentate the primetime players in the Usos. And I don't understand this. They've been doing this since the first episode of this show. Why the fuck are they putting these fucking cheap-ass matches on a show called Main Event? And it's not like they're just doing this now because it's become a C show. They did this since the first fucking episode. Okay, so, you know, I'm looking, and I'm seeing Brad Maddox fucking commentating during this match. And he's not funny at all. It's just a lot of random shit. And you know, random humor can be funny, but this shit was not good. He's acting like he doesn't know anything about wrestling. He didn't come off as funny. He sounded like a fucking idiot. I mean, this is the guy that they keep on showing us. Listen, he's not a good talker. They even said that during his time in FCW, he wasn't even a main eventer there. You know, usually when they bring people up from FCW, they usually have won their belt. This guy didn't even win a fucking belt. It's just because, once again, Triple H liked him. But then again, if Triple H liked him so much, why the fuck wasn't he champion, you know, down in Florida? I don't understand that. Why the fuck are they pushing a guy like this? You know, no charisma. Obviously, you know, his in-ring skills wasn't that great. If they didn't give him the belt in FCW, you know, I still have not watched his matches in FCW, so, you know, but the thing is, people might say, oh, you can't judge him unless you've seen him really wrestle. And I don't give a shit. You know, the thing is, he's so uninteresting, I don't even fucking care. There's nothing, you know, attractive about, you know, his whole character that would make me want to seek out a match of his on YouTube. You know, and with that said, that it's so uninteresting and dull and boring, I'm looking in the ring and I'm seeing Titus O'Neil wrestle a fucking, you know, just pointless match. Why are they wrestling the Usos? This guy's got so much fucking talent. You know, just him blowing the whistle and calling for a timeout and shit. I know it's not great, but the way how he does it, it just shows that, you know, he's got a lot of energy and character. So the thing is, why the fuck is Brad Maddox announcing during this match when Titus O'Neil already proved that he could do a job 20 times better than that lame-ass motherfucker? I'm, like, seriously, like, begging here. You know, if I didn't shave my head the other day, I'd probably fucking tear my hair out thinking about this. You know, they've passed up on so many good opportunities to push guys to the next level. And I see somebody like Titus O'Neil, the guy has a lot of fucking charisma. And wrestling is 50% of it. Sometimes even 75%, depending on who it is. It's about charisma. Yeah, about character. You know, all those fucking successful legends like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, you know, and Ultimate Warrior and Stone Cold, you know, and The Rock even. A lot of times you don't hear people say that they were, you know, a great wrestler. Now, a lot of those guys were great wrestlers, but mostly you hear people talking about their catchphrases, you know, the shit that they did, you know, backstage. You know, it's a lot about character being a wrestler. You know, there's very few guys that, you know, that are really popular and remembered as being the best of all time that weren't able to talk. The only exceptions are fucking Chris Benoit, and that's really about it. You know, Benoit was about the only guy who couldn't talk but got over, you know, because he was really good in the ring. So, you know, that's the funny thing about it. So, yeah, so Titus O'Neil might not be the best wrestler, but I see something in that guy. And it's not just me, because I've read that a lot of other people, some smart people here in the YWC, like Titus O'Neil. and they see him for what he is. Now, there's a lot of people who are fans of the primetime players, and I am not a fan of primetime players. It's just a shitty, pointless tag team. You know, they don't work well together. You know, just because they do a dance together doesn't mean that they're, you know, they work well together. This is a guy that should fucking kick Darren Young's ass to the curb. You know, like I said, just have him in a fucking match on Raw. Just, you know, if you're not just gonna flat out fire Darren Young, just have Titus O'Neil fucking destroy him. You know, after like a tag match or some shit. Then the next time he appears, you can give him the decked out gimmick, like I said. You know, the high roller, you know, ballin' type of character. You know, almost like an MVP type of character. You know, the Montel Vontavious Porter shit. Like that type of gimmick. Give it to him. And the thing is, MVP, I don't care what anybody says. That guy had fucking zero charisma. I fucking hated MVP. Not only was he a piece of fucking shit in the ring, and the guy botched like crazy, but he had no fucking charisma. And half his gimmick was that he was supposedly a man of much charisma, and he had none. Which was fucking just pissing me off all the time. Back when he was with the WWE. So then you can take a guy like Titus O'Neil, give him a gimmick where he's supposed to have a lot of charisma, and he has a lot of charisma. So why can't they do that? They're always taking old gimmicks and fucking shitting on them all the time. Why not fucking give Titus O'Neil this gimmick? And just forget about all this pointless bullshit with Brad Maddox and all these other fucking lame ass motherfuckers that can't cut a promo for shit, can't draw a fucking dime. I mean, seriously, I'm looking in the ring, I'm seeing fucking Usos, seeing fucking primetime players, and I'm like, who the fuck gives a shit about this garbage? Rikishi's sons, what the fuck are they? They're doing nothing in the ring that's anything great. They're performing splashes, a fucking move that Superfly Jimmy Snuka was doing back in the fucking 70s. The motherfucker did that move back in the 70s, and we're supposed to get all excited about it today. How can we get excited about a fucking splash when we've seen shooting star presses? We've even seen moves with more rotations than the shooting star press in the indies. So how the fuck are we supposed to get excited over a motherfucking splash? And these guys are fucking out of shape. They're fucking fat motherfuckers. Just like their fucking dad. But the thing is that at least their dad had some fucking charisma. This motherfucker, these two fucking bland ass idiots. They're just fucking nobodies. They're only there because Rikishi's their dad, you know, and they're probably doing him a favor, you know, because Rikishi's loyal to the WWE. You know, so why the fuck do they have them here? It's like, why are all these bland people in the WWE when they could do so much better? They have guys with so much fucking charisma, and they put them in the background. Like, fucking, for example, they got Dean Ambrose in the fucking Shield. And this motherfucker could cut some killer-ass promos. But instead, they're putting him with two other guys that really pale in comparison to him. Now, you could say that Seth Rollins has a lot of talent in the ring, and he does. But like I said, it's the WWE. And when you're on such a grand scale like this, sometimes being the best wrestler is not enough, because the guy can't fucking talk. So chances of him getting over are pretty damn slim. But then you got someone like Dean Ambrose who can wrestle well and talk very well at the same time. So it's a perfect combo. So why the fuck is he with these two other motherfuckers when he could be on his own and, you know, and possibly, you know, be on a path to greatness? But, you know, the WWE doesn't want to do that. Because, you know, they have all these other great wrestlers. Like I said, Daniel Bryan, a guy that should be on the fucking top. He should be main eventing every single fucking pay-per-view. He's the most over wrestler in the company. Instead, you know, they lie and say that the fans are mocking him and shit like that, and they stick him in a fucking tag team and make him act like a damn fucking goof. You know, what is this shit? I mean, seriously, can we get something that makes sense? I mean, why are we being lied to? Why do they want to make every single good wrestler with potential, look like a fucking worthless piece of shit? Makes no sense whatsoever. This shit's gotta stop already, because it's fucking pissing me off.